This is your teacher Haris Bhatt and you are seeing my YouTube channel Learn Accounting with Sir Haris. Today we are going to solve a question from AS Accounting 9706 from marginal costing, and the topic is limiting factor. This question has come in October-November 22-21. October-November 22-21 is basically the variant for which we are basically solving the question. So let's October-November 22-21. Let's see. Mandeep owns two manufacturing businesses. State what is meant by variable cost. Variable cost is a cost which does not change per unit with the change in the volume of production. But total variable cost changes with the change in the volume of production. Fixed cost is a cost which does not change with the change in the volume of production, but per unit fixed cost will obviously change with the change in the output. It means that variable cost per unit won't change and fixed cost in total won't change. Semi-variable cost is a cost which have some part of variable cost and some part of fixed cost, like telephone bill, because it has a line rent which is fixed, and the bill itself is basically variable because it increases with the use of the telephone and decreases with the use of the same as the case with electricity bills. It's a semi-variable cost. Addition information. One of the Mandeep business manufactures three products, S, T, and E. The following monthly budgeted information is available for December 2022. Per unit S, T, E is given. Selling price 90, 105, 150. Contribution is given. That's fine. Maximum monthly demand 80 units, 50 units, and 75 units. Budgeted fixed overhead are absorbed at 14 per unit based on a maximum monthly demand. So based on a maximum monthly demand, the budgeted fixed overhead are absorbed at 14 per unit. So let's find the budgeted fixed cost first. 80 multiplied by 14. What is the amount?
1120.
1120. That is the fixed cost for S. Then 50 multiplied by 14. That is 700. And then 75 multiplied by 14, because the maximum monthly demand for S is 80 units into 14, then 50 units into 14, and then 75 units into 14. What is the amount? 75.
1050.
1050. Let's go for the total of this. 1120 plus 700 plus 1050. What is the amount?
2870.
2870. So that is the total fixed cost regarding the particular three products, for all three products, for all the, calculate the total maximum contribution and also total maximum profit that Mandeep can earn in December 2022. So let's calculate that. Let's find the contribution. I'll write here S, and which are the two products again? T and E. T and E. And the contribution per unit is going to be, that will be, let me check, 41.5, 45 and 55.2. I will write here 41.5, 55 and 45.2. If I'm not wrong, let me check it. 55.2, sorry. This is 45. And this is 55.2. Now let's, how many units have been produced for each S, T, and E? That is 80, 50, and 75. I will write here just for the understanding purpose, 80, 50, and 75. Now you can multiply these units with the contribution per unit to find the total contribution. So can you help me for that? 80 into 41.5 to find total contribution. 80 into 41.5. G?
3320. 3320.
3320. Then 50 into 45.
2250.
And then 75 into 55.2.
4140.
4140. Now you can get the total. 3320 plus 2250 plus 4140.
9710.
9710. Okay, less fixed cost. I will subtract less fixed cost, and we have already calculated that is 2870. 2870 will get the profit. Current profit we are getting how much? 9710 minus 2870.
6840.
6840 is the profit for the year, which is the part of the our total maximum contribution and also total maximum profit from Mandeep can earn in December. But the business uses the same material to manufacture S, T, and E. The following information is available for direct material. Always remember that in case of limiting factor, there is some particular factor, key factor, which limits our production. In the last two questions, it was always meters or kgs, but it can be direct labor hours. It can be machine hours also. So the $6 per meter is the rate, and S will take 5 meter, T will take 6 meter, and 8 meters will be taken by Eve to produce the units. Calculate the total material in meters required to meet the maximum demand in December. So let's see how many meters are required. 5, 6, 8. I will write here. Meters required. That is going to be, I will write here first, meters per unit. So how many meters per unit is required to produce the units? 5, 6, and 8. So let me write here 5 for S, T is 6, and 8 for E. Now multiply it 80 into 5 because we are going to produce 80 units. For S, 80 into 5, we need 400 meters. For T, we need 300 meters, 50 into 6. And for E, we need 75 into 8. How much?
600.
600 meters. So total meters which are required in order to produce these units is going to be 1300. Now let's see how many meters are available. Mandeep has been told that due to a national shortage of material, he will only be able to obtain 1000 meters of material each month for the next 3 months. Prepare a statement, show the maximum contribution and also maximum profit that Mandeep can earn in December 2022, taking account of the shortage of material. Here, some students have gone for a wrong solution. Why? Let me show you. 6 marks question is this. And that is that if you just see the question, prepare a statement to show the maximum contribution and also maximum Mandeep can earn in December 2022, right? Taking account of the shortage of the material. So when the shortage has occurred, actually the shortage has occurred in December. So calculate the total material in meter required to meet the maximum demand in December. I think the data is also given for December. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go back. How many units, how many meters we have? So I will write here units produced according to the limiting factor. But for that, I have to find, first of all, contribution per limiting factor means contribution per meter to rank the production that which unit should be produced first. So contribution per meter, how much is it going to be? That is contribution per unit divided by limiting factor per unit. So can you calculate it for me? 41.5, which is the contribution per unit given here, divided by 5. 41.5 divided
8.3.
8.3. Then 45 divided by 6. 45 divided by 6.
7.5.
7.5. Then 55.2 divided by 8.
6.9.
6.9. Okay. So we got the contribution per meter. Now let's move on. Now we have seen we need to rank the production. So ranking is going to be which which product has the highest contribution per meter, that is 1, then we'll produce 2, and then we'll produce the, so the the ranking is the same, 1 2 3. S is going to be produced first, then we'll go for T, and then we'll go for E because it has the lowest contribution per square. So let's produce units produced. How many units are going to be produced? And here I will write the meter per unit, and then I am going to write the kg, sorry, rather write meter per unit, and then I will require the meter available or used, जो basically consumed. First of all, we have to prepare S. So 80 multiplied by meter per unit is 5. So we can produce 400 units easily. Sorry, 400 meters will be used, and we can produce 80 units of S easily. So this will consume 400 meters, and we have total of 1000 meters only. So 400 out of 1000, 400 have been utilized to produce 80 units of S, which carries 5 meters for the production of each unit. Now let's talk about T. 50 units are produced, multiplied by how many meters it requires? 6. It has already been written again. So I will write here 50. We can produce 50 units at the rate of 6 per meter, and 300 meters have been utilized. Now the remaining meters are going to be, which are left for Eve, is 300. And Eve, every unit of Eve used to take 8 meters per unit. So 300 divided by 8, we will get the 300 divided by 8 will get the units produced for Eve. Obviously, which should not be 75. It will be less than 75. So how much units of Eve we can produce? Please, you can.
37.5.
That is going to be 300, divided by 8, 37.5. So you can write 38 units because half unit cannot be produced, or you can write 37 units, right? We'll go for the next whole number. Rather, we will go for 37 because, so now you can find the contribution. You can write contribution per unit. That will remain the same. It is 41.5. I'm writing it again just for the reason of understanding purpose. 45 and 55.2. Now the total contribution, according to the optimum production plan, this will be the total contribution will be 3320 because 80 into 41.2 we have already calculated 41.5. Same is the case with 300 into 50 into 45. We have already calculated, that is 2250, and then you have to calculate, which is 37 into 55.2. What is the amount? 37 into 5.2. 37 into 55.2. Yes.
2042.4.
Okay, 2042. Now, what is the total amount? 3320 plus 2250 plus 2042. That is going to be the total contribution.
7612.
7612. And we'll subtract fixed costs, which is not changing, which will remain the same. It is 2870. And we will get the profit. That is the maximum profit you can achieve in case of limiting factor of meters per unit. That is the maximum profit.
4742.
4742. Obviously, it will be less than the actual 6840 because that is the maximum profit you can achieve in case of limiting factor. So 4742 is going to be the profit we can achieve in case of limiting factor. So this is how we are done with this question. Let's move forward. How we are going to solve it. Mandeep made inquiries and found an overseas supplier who would be able to provide enough material to meet his requirement each month. Mandeep has never used this supplier before. he has been assured that the material will be of similar quality to his current supplier and that the price would be $5 per meter. I think I have not used the price of the meter. So I have done the question wrong actually. How? Because I have used the meter per unit. That is quite fine. But I think the price of the meter per unit is $6. Contribution will be the same. So that doesn't matter to us, right? So we don't need to change the contribution, obviously, because the $6 is for every single product. I think that's fine. Okay. So now he's saying that we will be able to provide enough material to meet his requirement each month. Mandeep has never used this supplier before. He has been assured that the material would be similar quality to his current supply and that the price would be $5 per meter. Advise Mandeep whether or not he should purchase all future supplies of material from the overseas supply. Justify your answer. So there is no reason to go for the calculation. Why, sir? Because we know that our price of square meter is $6 over here. So now we are getting $5. So it means that we are getting the amount at a lesser price. Secondly, we are able to achieve our all production because our current supplier is not is able to provide us the whole material. We'll be having a discount also on the full production. That is why he is giving us a $5 per meter, but we have to keep the check on the quality. So it is clearly mentioned that we are going to have a similar quality to the current supplier, but we have to see that he is an overseas supplier. So what is going to be the delivery cost either, or the overseas supplier will able to continue, or there is change in the currency, right? Currency rates, then we have to pay more. So these things has to be taken into account, that our delivery should be on time so that the customer should not be frustrated and we should not lose our customers. So these things will be taken into account. Otherwise, because we are getting the price of the material at a lesser price, $5, so we could achieve, should go for it easily because it will give us a better profit, even more than 6840. How come, sir? Because the contribution is calculated where the $6, we are paying $6 per meter. Now we are paying $5 per meter. So overall profit will not only be, we are not able to achieve the desired amount of output. We are able to produce the 75 units of easily. Not only this, labor will not be redundant also, right? So employees will not be demotivated. Customers will be satisfied. We will not lose our customer. The profit will increase even more because we are producing the full output. So profit will increase. The normal profit of 6840 will even increase by more. How much we will increase? Obviously, because we are now making the payment as $5 rather than $6. So this is how we are done with this question. So this is the end of limiting factor. Now tomorrow we are going to solve a question of absorption and marginal income statement. I'll be able to solve one question and maybe 1, 2 question I will give you two as a homework, and that's it. This will be done with the, thank you.